So the legendary Daddy Lumba's funeral is finally taking place in Kumasi. And I don't know about you though, but personally, Charlie, I'm very relieved. But like this whole conundrum, family stress and everything, Charlie. Then I was praying that at least we'll come to a place whereby we will have a befitting burial at least for the legendary Daddy Lumba, because I mean he deserves to have a good rest. He deserves to have a peaceful rest. And the whole family feud that was happening between Odobroni and then Akosia Sewa, and a bit of sibling rivalry, and the Bushiapeni coming in to the extent that the Bushiapeni was even given the name Ebushiapeni to Park, just because of how he was so present in the media and how stubborn he was with whatever he believed was true to be the right thing to be done for the late Dad Lumba. Now, uh, this particular funeral, personally, I've never seen any sort of drama, any level of drama as much as this whole that Lumba issue became. I mean, when that Lumba passed on, unfortunately, earlier this year, we were all devastated, and we were all hoping that at least the memory and the legend, the kind of lifestyle and the memories that in form of his music that Lumba has given us, at least we will have some form of like even state barrier to some extent for that Lumba to honor his not only to honor his name, but also for it to be a form of encouragement to other people that intend to maybe take that part. I mean, if you are doing your craft well, then at least if you are going to be able to sell Ghana in a certain light, I believe that that kind of farewell will be befitting to not only to give some kind of peaceful rest and deserving honor to that Lumba, but also will be a form of incentive to some people that are also on the same path. But I mean, life has comes with its own wahala. Okay, so currently the funeral is ongoing as I'm speaking to you now, and there's a lot of updates that are coming from the funeral. One of it is the fact that we've not seen Akosia Sewa. That happens to be Daddy Lumba's ex-wife at the funeral grounds, but we have seen Odobroni because she was the one that the court officially confirmed as the legal wife. So she's the one that is there performing all the rites and everything. We've seen Asay Dunketia, Honorable Asay Dunketia, the general himself, General Mosquito. Yeah, he's also there to represent the NDC, and he actually spoke that he met that Lumba during his visit to one of the chiropractic hospital that he visited, and that's the same place that Lumba used to visit. Okay, so that Lumba actually introduced Odobroni to him as his wife, so that's what he knows, that Odobroni happens to be that Lumba's wife. So he's actually there to actually be a form of a representative for the sitting government, and also his own like friendship and relationship he had with that Lumba before he passed on. And it's also said that the NDC has actually donated 50,000 Ghana cedis to the family of that Lumba to make sure that at least their funeral arrangements and all that will be at least a bit easy for them, which is commendable. We've seen a couple of people there. I mean, a couple of celebrities, especially those that were close to that Lumba, like Nana Champon, and because it was done in Kumasi, I believe that most people in Accra would have loved to be there. And because of how, Charlie, the drama was too much. Okay, so some people at some point were not so much interested in what was going on because of the whole focus of honoring that Lumba was shifted to family feuds and family wahala, and you don't really know the intention behind these kind of drama that was caused. You don't know whether these people that were fighting against themselves, the family people, were fighting because of they want to actually give that Lumba a befitting burial, or they have their personal interest. Because from Papa Shi's side, I mean, and then Papa Shi and Akusia Zewa side, they were fighting at least the funeral be pushed to somewhere next year. Okay, and because they were actually saying that, Charlie, they don't want to perform autopsy because they are not so convinced with how that Lumba died, and I think maybe they have some level of suspicion with how he actually died. So they would like to perform some form of autopsy to confirm what killed their beloved Dad Lumba. Okay, so they were fighting. At least they should be pushed the funeral to like maybe March, somewhere around March next year. So at least not only that, but also to get the needed logistics to make sure that they give that Lumba a befitting burial. But it didn't happen that way. Earlier yesterday, I think yesterday, there was a news that broke out that it was like more like the court ordered that maybe the people, the current that's Ebushiapeni to Park and Odobroni's side were not supposed to bury that Lumba, that they halted the body being sent to Kumasi because they had to make some payment to Akosia Sewa's side or Papashi's side of the family. But I don't know what happened. Some way, somehow, the whole news was reverted, and then some way, somehow, today, that happens to be the 13th of December, the funeral is ongoing. We've seen our other running whipping some. I mean, she's not particularly in a good mood, and it's understandable because that's her beloved, and they've shared some moment together, and then having someone that you love so much being lifeless, lying in states, it's not always safe. It's not an easy side. So I mean, it's understandable. I mean, the feud and everything, you can't take away the fact that it's very sad that we've lost an icon, a legend. And Ewuchiapeni Tupac was actually also speaking, and then he had to make some things very clear because some people were actually complaining that Daddy Lumba's face, whilst he laid in state, was covered. Okay, and then they don't understand why Daddy Lumba's face was covered. So according to him, he believes that, or he said that when Daddy Lumba was alive, there was a couple of things that he added into his will. So the lawyer, Daddy Lumba's lawyer, has actually communicated everything to him. One of it is to make sure that Daddy Lumba's face was covered. And according to him, it wasn't even only the lawyer that knows that. I mean, a couple of people that were close to Daddy Lumba before he died were actually they confirmed that Lumba actually wanted his face to be covered before he was buried. Well, I don't know why, but maybe if truly if that Lumba said that, well, I think it's rightfully so that it will be done for him because, I mean, even though he's the Bushiapeni or the family leader, he is, in situations like that, he has to go by what the person so demanded. So people were actually complaining about a lot of things. I mean, some people also think that the funeral itself, some people they talk say the funeral itself, it's not befitting for the legend. Okay, looking at the whole funeral grounds and the whole funeral was organized, and looking at the caliber of man or the caliber of icon celebrity that Lumba is was. Most people are really not impressed with the organization and decoration and everything, and then people are speaking a lot about it. But I don't know what you think though. But me personally, I just want him to have a peaceful rest. I mean, if the decorations and all the funeral stuff are not even done right, I feel like he should have a peaceful rest. And the family wahala, at least they should all take a break. If they will bury him, regardless of how I'm not saying that it's nice that a legend like that, maybe the decoration and the funeral grounds are not up to standard, but it's I think they should just at this point, our focus is to make sure that Daddy Lumba is given a peaceful rest. So after the funeral, I believe that all the wahala, Charlie, wait me, we are coming in now, Charlie, it will go down the drain. Then Charlie, you take it from there. At the end of the day, he's made his mark in the world, and the least he deserves is to make sure that his soul is at a peaceful place. At least he should have a peaceful rest. Okay, so if they will do the funeral today and then they will perform the rites, rituals and the funeral rites and everything that is involved for him to his soul to have a peaceful stay in the afterlife. Personally, I know it's important. The creation and the magnitude of the funeral is all important, but I think that Lumba deserves peaceful rest. At this point, his rest his peaceful rest is more important than maybe some of these worldly things that I believe that you do for him. Yes, because there's been a lot of back and forth too much with regards to his death. I don't know what you think though. That's my opinion though. But enka okodai asumdwe mu a enka ebeboa pa. That's what I think. So that's what's happening with regards to that Lumba's funeral. There's a lot of things going on, but at least for now, at this point, this is the update that is going on, and I'm still on the media. I'm still monitoring the affairs. I'm still monitoring how things are going. If anything comes up, trust me that I'll come here to update you as always. The name remains Donald, not Trump, and I'll definitely see you on the other side. Peace.